Alright, well, what is going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode on the Masai Gains channel. Welcome to all the brand new subscribers. This is my Mercedes W124. Arguably the best sedan ever built. Mercedes spent, I think, $1 billion on this platform. And at the time, Mercedes were known to build the best, the most reliable, the most solid vehicles that could stand the test of time, driven by professionals, lawyers, doctors, professionals in the day who had the money to afford these premium sedans. I absolutely love Mercedes-Benz, but this Mercedes W124 is something else. I have owned a Mercedes W202. For those of you that don't know, that is the C-Class of this generation, actually just from about, I think, 1995 to 2001 or so. But I absolutely loved that vehicle, and it was solid, dead reliable. And it was also running the M111 engine, which this is also running. In fact, this is running an updated version of the M111 engine that's slightly more powerful. This is actually a 2.2 liter. This is an E220. And I'm just getting used to this vehicle, guys. I haven't done much, even though I purchased it a long time ago, almost half a year ago. I haven't done much except put in an injector cleaner of liquid moly and an engine flush, and my what a difference. Now, I did convert to SEA 20W50 kind of mineral grade oil. I'm not so sure if I'm very happy with it. I might go back to 5W30, but the oil is settled in now and it feels decent. I will give you guys an update on the kind of fuel economy I've got, because I've not run down the tank just yet. And it's a beautiful day. The sun is out. I'm in my Mercedes W124. What could be better? So, welcome to today's episode. Today we're going to talk about basically everything that's wrong. Basically everything that's wrong with it right now and what I'll be working on. So, welcome. Alright, guys, now Mercedes W124, what a beast of a vehicle. So M111 engine, .960, and a 5-speed transmission, 5-speed manual. I'm getting used to the manual. I switched out the oil of the manual gearbox, and that helped with the switching a lot. But what are the actual issues that I've got with my Mercedes W124 right now? What am I tackling, and what are the main issues with this vehicle right now? Well, number one is I've got a horrible clunk at the back, which is actually the exhaust silencer. So I have checked that out. It is the exhaust silencer, and it's kind of just hanging there and hitting on the fiberglass on the bumper over there and just delivering a horrible sound. But I'm on an unpaved road, huge potholes over there, and it just highlights the smoothness of this platform. The way Mercedes engineered this was that the first time that I think a 5-link rear suspension was engineered, and every vehicle after this almost borrowed some of the ideology that came from this vehicle. So a super comfortable suspension, even though this is a 1997 vehicle, guys. Comfortable than most modern vehicles, more comfortable than my Land Cruisers. Of course, it's a sedan, you expect comfort. But this is that old school comfort. It just settles so well, even though it's not riding on any funky Airmatic suspension or air suspension or ABC suspension from Mercedes. It is just running on coils, solid as ever, and yet so smooth. So very enjoyable ride quality you get from this vehicle, and I am a big fan, especially in Nairobi, where you have the unpaved roads and so bumpy. Whoa, this just softens everything up. I'm used to the Land Cruisers that still bounce up on these kind of terrains, and that's actually why, guys, that I got into this kind of vehicle. I don't need an extra vehicle. Certainly can't afford an extra vehicle, but hey, this thing has always taken my heart, this vehicle, and I just had to get into it. Honestly, I don't know what to tell you guys. Sometimes you just have to jump at something when you see something really clean, something that just catches your eye. And I think I have an eye for vehicles, whereas I see something and I know it's something good, I go for it. So main issues I'm dealing with, that horrible exhaust clunk, and number two, side mirror. This side mirror has got this kind of weird black thing. Basically, I think the mirror has a tint, and when I tried to clean it and remove the hard water spots, I must have damaged the tint and I ruined the glass. So need to change that glass. Need to remove the hard water from the other glass. Fortunately, my windscreen is in decent condition, and mechanically I want to get into a bunch of things, since all I've done is just an oil service, one oil service, and that's it. But not driven too many kilometers, actually just nearing on maybe 400 kilometers now, whereas I run down that tank with the injector cleaner. The car, when I bought it, was barely idling, guys. Now I got the car to idle quite well, but on a cold start in the morning, you do need to give it a bit of the beans to get it going, and then it idles quite well, you know, not bad at all. So I have got that sorted out. Engine is performing decently. When I bought the car, I could barely put it in reverse. It would just cut out because it was just not maintaining oil pressure. And you know, with the gear oil change and with the engine flush and then the injector cleaner, we seem to have made that much better, guys. So can't speak enough for those kind of products. Now, other issues I have, you know, it's just cosmetic issues, like little paint touch-ups on the bumpers, stuff like that I know I need to get done. But other major issues that I might need to take care of is, you guys know, on this platform, Mercedes did use a biodegradable wiring harness. So at some point, you know, the previous owner told me he took care of it, but there is a beautiful harness that you can get from abroad, and then you just know your vehicle is absolutely sorted for years to come. So I might need to take care of that, which is a bit of a pricey one. Probably overall going to cost me about 100,000 shillings. But if I do that, this vehicle will be, you know, in a much better place for years and years to come. But it is still performing well. There's a bit of play in the gearbox, whereas I might need to change some of the bushes that exist in this manual gearbox. Shouldn't be too hard of a job. Speedometer works well. I don't know if I can tweak it in a way whereas the sensors can pick up better, or some of those sensors can be cleaned out. Interior wise, a good clean has gone a long way with this vehicle, so I'm very happy about that. Now there may be some touch-ups, especially on the doors and next to the handles, that I might need to take care of, and I'll look to do that, as that's just a cosmetic thing. I'll look to do that in the future. But apart from that, I am sitting happy because I did pay a premium for this vehicle. Okay, so this wasn't the ones where you see on Facebook at 200,000k, 300,000k. You guys might say I'm silly for whatever I paid. I'm not going to reveal what I paid because it's a willing buyer, willing seller market, and I was a willing buyer for what I saw. But I did pay a premium, and so I did expect some functionality. But it's not 100% there. I still want to do some more oil services, take a look deeper into the engine, and actually not open the engine or anything like that, but some more oil services, some more injector cleaner. Should be performing much better. Now, I did get the power steering leak sorted. I've put new seals, and so that's helped a ton, because now I don't have a power steering leak, and that's much better. It was, you know, whining and doing all sorts of things, so that's great. But if I, you know, if I sort that horrible exhaust clunk, I'll just be sitting much better. So that's the roundup and the update on the sort of issues I have with this vehicle. And it's not a long list, but it's a 30-year-old vehicle, so I do expect things to creep up here and there, since I'm almost daily driving it now. So enjoying the vehicle, shifting gears, can't be happier to be back shifting a manual. And an update, a quick update on my Mercedes W124 1997 M111.960, the E220, the 4-cylinder. So not a big engine. I will give you updates on fuel economy, but I hope you enjoyed this quick episode, guys. So it's been another episode of Masai Gains with my Mercedes W124. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.